The college football experience, USC Trojans 2023 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by our very own Patreon. Score exclusive perks, content, and contests, including our NFL win totals contest with a $1,000 prize. Join today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app to get last-minute tickets at the lowest price guaranteed. Use the promo code CFBX for $20 off. Once again, that is promo code CFBX for $20 off. We're also brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use the code DGEN. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on any college football bet, only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the code DGEN. That's DEGEN, DGEN.
This is Brian Bosworth, a.k.a. The Boz, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, brother. Peace out. Boz out.
Yes, yes, yes. Welcome. Welcome to the college football experience. USC Trojans 2023 season preview episode. I'm excited to talk. I mean, damn if USC didn't blow up the Pac-12. And it doesn't make a lot of sense to me because you look at this this division, this conference, this year, and you say, holy hell, it's going to be a lot of fun. Perhaps you're wondering who the hell you're listening to. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
We are talking about the team that's got the most draft picks ever. Yes, the USC Trojans.
Throw that up for the good people here.
I almost forgot. If you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. Let's go, Trojans. Fight on. That was just the perfect place.
Now take that thing off.
Yeah, take that thing off. I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for former JMU Duke defensive back, the burrito eating, sideline kid stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hey,
Let's get it going, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Let's get it fucking going.
We're talking about one of the most legendary, whether we like it or not,
O.J. Simpson
programs in college football history. That's the name we chose. Yeah, I mean, look, USC is kind of cool. They're a cool team, but they're also easy to hate, especially in light of.
Well, I would say after the Big Ten move, they're very easy to hate. But I know you're super excited for those USC Rutgers games.
Oh yeah. Dying for those.
Look, they got great uniforms.
They do.
But yeah, I mean, I hate the move to the Big Ten. If we're just being flat out honest,
yeah,
absolutely disgusting. Move to the Big Ten.
USC is supposed to dominate the Pac-12, and occasionally rise up and show that represent the West Coast of football.
I got zero interest in watching them in the Big Ten.
Yeah,
except for maybe when they play Oregon and Washington,
right?
Or UCLA.
I'd like to just see them go lose in Wisconsin in November.
That game just bores me, though.
It bores me, but if there's snow on the ground and USC has to go to it,
of course
I will enjoy that.
Okay, but still, if you told me they could play at Wisconsin or at Washington State, give me Washington State all day.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like,
of course,
it's just annoying a little bit. But I mean, Lincoln Riley doing a great fucking job, coming in to a hot mess in damn near almost made the playoffs. Now, they didn't have Oregon and Washington on the schedule last year, Patty C. How much did that matter?
You gotta say that matters. Those two teams were both in the top 15 last year in final rankings, number 8 and number 15 respectively.
So here's the question: was USC legit, or were they a little counterfeit? Is what I'm saying. Because the defense was terrible. They lost to Tulane in the bowl game.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
We say that, they avoided Oregon, but they did get Oregon State,
Yeah, but I mean, they didn't. My point is and they damn near lost that game. They probably should have lost that game.
That's true.
But yeah, no, I'm just asking that. I'm not questioning.
They didn't get the full smoke that conference offers, but that would be a really,
because they get to draw Stanford every year because that rivalry game, which is an advantage to USC
at this point. Yes.
At any point.
No, there was a time when Stanford was pretty decent.
Okay, but
usually,
come on.
In the last 30 years, I would say more often than not, that's been an advantage.
So now here's the thing: you look back last year, Patty C, and you say, okay, 3-point win against Oregon State, right? 8-point win against Arizona, 6-point win against Cal, 3-point win against UCLA.
Well, you might be right.
Right?
It might be a little bit of fool's gold.
4 one-score game wins, and then they did lose to Utah by 1, and they did lose to Tulane by 1. So 4-2 in one-score games. But let's talk about it, because obviously they have the best quarterback in the country. But what's your take on Lincoln Riley, buddy? I mean, obviously we're a Mike Leach podcast. Mike Leach, friend of the program, and he was the first guy to give Lincoln Riley a shot, and really
I got nothing against Lincoln Riley. I think it probably was a smart move to get out of Oklahoma and go to USC, although now they have a similar fate,
Still, though, I think USC still in better footing
than Oklahoma,
yes.
Probably. Yeah.
Yes, I think certainly.
But regardless of that, I think Lincoln Riley, obviously a hell of an offensive coach. How much of the defensive woes of last year do you put on the head coach? I think you have to put some of that on there. I think that's a little bit of a liability of the teams that he coaches. But overall, I'd say he's a pretty damn good coach. Granted,
of course, yeah.
Humongous talent advantage that he has at his disposal.
At both of his schools.
Yeah.
We're going to talk all about it. We're going to break down the USC offense, defense, special teams. We're going to grade if they if they won the transfer portal or not. And then we're going to go game by game on the schedule. Hopefully you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. Remember, we also host the college basketball experience. So this is the college football experience. We host the college basketball experience. USC is going to be good this year, Patty C, in basketball.
Old Bronny James apparently not impacted by that heart attack. He's ready to go.
I mean, so there, and look, the college baseball experience, USC is known to have a good baseball program. It hasn't been fire lately, but historically. We host all those podcasts, come together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. Subscribe over there. But I want to tell you folks out there that the college football experience, USC Trojans 2023 season previews, brought to you by DraftKings. You've waited all year long. All right. And the time has finally arrived. College football is back. And so are the traditions, the tailgates, and the great offers from DraftKings Sportsbooks. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on any college football bet. And I love the USC San Jose State over week 0 at 63.5, even with the new rules of the running clock. I think that thing is going over. So kick off the season with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use the promo code DGEN. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on any college football bet. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Once again, the code again is DGEN, DEGEN, DGEN. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in New York. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in West Virginia. Visit www.1800gambler.net in partnership with Hollywood Casino and Charlestown Racetracks. All games regulated by West Virginia Lottery. Please play responsibly. In Connecticut, help is available. Problem with gambling? Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resorts in Kansas, 21 or older in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/. football terms. Whew. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Look, buying tickets to your favorite event shouldn't be that stressful. I remember I did this for Book of Mormon. Thought I would do the sneakeroo and just get it right at the door. Idiot. That's what I was. Look, Game Time is fast. It's a fast and easy way to buy tickets to sports, music, comedy, and theater near you. With killer deals on last-minute tickets and the best price guaranteed, you can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for the fun you'll be having at that very event. Forget planning months in advance. What's that ever done for anybody, all right? Yeah, well, look, Oregon State was planning on playing USC and stuff. Look what happened to them. Fucking, they're planning for months in advance, and unfortunately, they're going to get destroyed. Anyway, Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the day of the event. Get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. The Game Time guarantee also fantastic. It means you'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. It's fantastic. Snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Once again, create an account, redeem that code CFBX for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right. We are back on the college football experience. USC Trojans 2023 season preview episode. Here we go. I mean, the portal, Patty C. This is USC here. Departing Los Angeles is cornerback. This was a 4-star transfer according to 24/7 Sports. Latrell McClutchin heading out to the Houston Cougars and Dana Holgerson, a.k.a. Roy Munson.
Ouch. Talented player, 22 tackles.
Defensive lineman Earl Barquet, he's in the portal. Offensive tackle Cortland Ford heads out to the Kentucky Wildcats. Quarterback Keegan Patterson hits the portal. Cornerback Joshua Jackson hits the portal. Tight end Malcolm Epps, not Malcolm X, Patty. Malcolm Epps heads to the Pitt Panthers.
There's another.
Pat Narduzzi's getting revenge. He's like, oh yeah, we can pick up the phone and call somebody.
Speaking of which, Jordan Addison, first round pick, number 23, and Epps, 3 catches last year. So similar kind of trade value.
Hit him where it hurts.
That's right.
Wide receiver Kyle Ford. This guy, 4-star transfer according to 24/7 Sports. Patty C. Guess where he transferred to?
Tell me.
UCLA. Absolutely fucking disgusting. Just disgusting.
And when you can still visit your own school and drive in a half-hour drive, that is disgusting.
Safety Britton Allen. Guess where he transferred? He transferred to the Utah Utes. What is going on here?
I like that.
But Utah just beat him twice. You're supposed to be able to
overcome millennials.
Okay, you ready for the next one? Wide receiver Gary Bryant. You know where he transferred? 4-star transfer, by the way.
Where's that?
Oregon Ducks. I mean, what's going on here, man?
Well, I'll tell you this. When the team brings in so much help in the portal, maybe you want to go get that revenge. Maybe you want to stick it to him.
Maybe. Wide receiver CJ Williams. He's a 4-star transfer. He went out to Luke Fickell in Wisconsin.
That's now an in-state game or an in-conference game, rather.
Yeah, just stupid. Linebacker Tuasi Nomura heads out to Fresno State and Jeff Tedford. See, that would I understand, right? Wide receiver Jake Smith heads out to the Arizona State Sun Devils. I mean, should I sound it again? What am I missing?
80% of their transfers out are in conference.
Safety Xavier Alford to Arizona State as well. Defensive lineman Kobe Pepe heads to the portal. Cornerback Jaden Williams, portal. Linebacker Raylan Goforth, great name, heads out to the Washington Huskies. What is going on? Linebacker Taylor Katoa hits the portal.
And Goforth was their 8th leading tackler last year, too. That's not a small loss.
Taylor Katoa hits the portal. The linebacker Julian Simon heads out to the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. And offensive lineman Maximus Gibbs heads out to Jackson State and TC Taylor. Incoming, though, Patty C. We got a lot. Defensive lineman Kion Bars from Arizona, the Wildcats. They just raid Arizona every year. Not Arizona State, Arizona.
Yeah.
Georgia State linebacker Jamil Muhammad is coming in to Los Angeles. 4-star transfer Mason Cobb out of Oklahoma State heads to USC at the linebacker spot.
Nice.
4-star wide receiver transfer Dorian Singer from Arizona. This guy's a fucking stud last year.
Yeah. Goes
to USC. That's their makeup for losing. Well, that's his name.
Addison.
Yeah. Punter Edward Ziplicki heads to USC from Arizona State. 4-star running back MarShawn Lloyd from South Carolina transfers into the USC Trojans.
The real USC, you might say.
4-star cornerback Christian Roland Wallace from Arizona, their best defensive player, transfers into USC. Offensive lineman Jarrett Kingston from Washington State transfers into USC. Offensive lineman Jack Sullivan, 4-star transfer. Defensive lineman Jack Sullivan. He's a stud. From Purdue, transfers in. Offensive tackle starter from the Florida Gators a year ago, Michael Tarquin, transfers in to the USC Trojans.
Yeah.
SMU linebacker Deuce Palmer transfers into the USC Trojans. 4-star and former 5-star recruit, 4-star transfer, defensive lineman Anthony Lucas from Texas A&M transfers in to USC. Offensive lineman, 4-star, Emmanuel Pregnon from, he was Prego, from the Wyoming Cowboys, 4-star transfer.
Solid.
5-star transfer, Bear Alexander, defensive lineman for the Georgia Bulldogs, transfers to USC. Traquan Fegans, cornerback from Alabama, 4-star, transfers into USC. I'd say they won the portal.
Number 4 transfer class in the country.
Yeah.
That is a W, without a doubt.
For sure. Now, let's talk about this roster now. Because a year ago, Patty C, this USC offense, 3rd in scoring offense, 52nd, though, in rush offense, 3rd in passing offense, charting at the 3rd best offense in America.
Yeah. Lost, not too much on the offensive side of the ball in the draft.
Just
like
what,
mentioned.
Travis Dye and Jordan Addison, right?
Yeah, well, did Dye get drafted, or did he just run out?
Graduated. I know he tore his ACL, so
yeah, I don't think he got drafted. Yeah. Addison got drafted. Andrew Voorhees was a 7th round tackle from the offensive, from the guard position, or guard, not tackle. So not too much lost in the draft. And like you mentioned, Singer, 66 catches for 1,105 yards, 6 touchdowns at Arizona.
He's a stud.
Yeah.
So the offense, Caleb Williams is back. He's the best quarterback in the country. If he's healthy, they should be loaded at quarterback.
Yeah.
Miller Moss is the backup. The running backs, I think they got better with Marshawn Lloyd and Austin Jones, the former Stanford running back. They also have Quentin Joyner and Darwin Barlow. I mean, I kind of think the running back room is better this year than it was a year ago.
Yeah. I mean, Jones was the leading rusher last year, 705 yards. So, they probably just don't run the ball that often, but bring back your leading rusher and bring in another
the guy who led the South Carolina Gamecocks in rushing.
Yeah.
The wide receiving core, Patty C. Mario Williams, that former 5-star.
Check that. Travis Dye was their leading rusher last year.
Okay.
But he did get injured, like you said.
But Mario Williams, 5-star freshman a year ago. I'm sorry. He was a sophomore last year. He was a 5-star at Oklahoma. He transferred in and he played great last season for USC. He's back. And same with Jerry Rice's son, who used to be at Colorado, Brenden Rice. And then Dorian Singer. And they also have Tahj Washington. Those 4 receivers this might be one of the best receiver rooms in America.
They're loaded. And they brought in some 5-star talent at the receiver and tight end position too. They are getting it going in Los Angeles.
The offensive line, though, just 3 of 5 starters back, but they go get Tarquin from Florida. They get the kid from Wyoming, and maybe they got a really good offensive line. Also, the kid from Washington State. So they get 3 studs on the offensive line in the portal. That might play out to be huge. They do return their kicker, Dennis Lynch, who was 15 of 22 a season ago.
Not that good at kicking.
they also brought in the Arizona State transfer, too. So maybe there's something there.
There you go.
On the defensive side of the ball.
Did we give out team rankings?
Third, yeah. I rattled it off.
Okay, so you know,
will the offense be better than third this year, Petty C?
You can't predict them to get any better than third, but they're just as loaded, it seems like. So I think they'll be fine.
Let's talk about the defensive side of the ball, because this was the big issue a year ago.
Yeah.
Alex Grinch in year 1, 93rd scoring defense, 79th rushing defense, 111th pass defense, charting at the 105th best defense in America. Patty C, they were active in the portal. They brought in guys. The defensive line returns 2 of 3, but guess what? They're breaking in. No, they don't return 2 of 3. They're all transfers, actually. But they're 2 of 3 starters from a year ago in Bear Alexander and Kion Bars. And Anthony Lucas is a former 5-star. So defensive line getting a lot better. They also have Jack Sullivan for depth and Stanley Tuafu'u. So the defensive line looking a lot better than it did a year ago, in my opinion. The linebacking core, all starters from college football a year ago. Mason Cobb from Oklahoma State coming in. They also still have Eric Gentry. They also have Shane Lee and Jamil Muhammad, who was a Georgia State transfer. It's patchwork. Can the defense get that much better? The secondary's got some. I would say the secondary might have the most question marks, even though they bring back Max Williams and Bryson Shaw. Same with Caleb Bullock and Christian Roland Wallace transfers in from Arizona.
Well, when you have that many returners on even, I know they're passing. You said it was
17 starters back on 17 starters from college football a year ago altogether.
Yeah, on the defense or on
no, the defense returns 9 that started not necessarily at USC, but in college football last season.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
but this team was 6th in the nation in interceptions. I want to say 8th in forcing turnovers in general, but 111th in total defense, or in it scoring defense?
Yeah, no, total defense.
Total defense. Yeah. That's unbelievable. But you mentioned that's probably not a. Turnovers are a hard stat to replicate. So if that was responsible for some of those close wins at all, then maybe that's a big cause for concern. The defense probably needs to get a lot better.
I think it will get better this year, even though the schedule gets harder, though, man. I don't know. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
We're going to go game by game on the schedule. But before we do that, I want to tell you, fine people out there, that the college football experience USC Trojans 2023 season preview is brought to you by Factor. Yes, with the busy fall season just around the corner, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for jam-packed days, baby. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up fast with chef-prepared, dietitian approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You heard about this thing, man? This thing is great. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle, Patty C. All right? Some say too busy, with the end of your summer goals to cook, like me doing 133 previews. I could really use this. But want to make sure you're eating well? Well, with Factor, you can skip the extra trip to the grocery store and the chopping, prepping, and cleaning, because let's be honest, that always takes time and effort while still getting the flavor, and this will give you everything that you really need
without all that work.
Yes, Factor's fresh, never frozen meals. All right, because how many times growing up do you get the old microwave dinner? Halfway through the mashed potatoes, they're fucking frozen. All right, and look, just 2 minutes. All right, so all you have to do is heat and enjoy. Then go back to crushing whatever goals you got planned for your life. This is a fantastic thing. All right. If you need an extra boost, your wellness goals, and feel your best for the rest of the summer, try Protein Plus meals with 30 grams of protein or more per serving, Patty C. So head over to factormeals.com/SGPN50 and use the code SGPN50 to get 50% off. Once again, that's code SGPN50 at factormeals.com/SGPN50 to get 50% off. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. The NFL season is right around the corner, and Underdog NFL Pick'em is a great way to get down on your favorite over and under picks. They even got college football and NFL preseason. And of course, make sure to enter the Best Ball Mania, where first place gets $3 million. Yes, give out an underdog pick you like. I can give you it right now. Jacksonville State, week 1. Week 0, I mean. Jacksonville State beats UTEP as a 1-point dog. I'm going out on a bold take.
Boom.
I'll say this, though. It wouldn't shock me if Florida International, the airport, took down La Tech. No, I'll give you a better one. Colorado beats TCU, 21-point dogs.
Boom.
Week coming, says Prime. Head on over to UnderdogFantasy.com. Use that promo code SGPN for 100% deposit bonus up to $100. That's UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN. All right, Patty C, we are back. If you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/The College Experience, you see the sweet graphics. Shout out to the graphics department of SGPN. You see the win total sitting at 10, Patty C, without diving into the schedule. Is that a lock on the over or what?
I mean, we've already touched slightly on the schedule, but it's not a lock on over. But the team was 11-1 in the regular season last year, and their one loss was by 1 point. Now they did escape with some close wins in the what you mentioned, 4-1 score wins in that time too. And we do know the schedule is a little harder, so I don't know. 10-2 seems pretty spot on.
Well, week 0. Just in less than a week, the USC Trojans are hosting San Jose State. The spread is pretty large. I believe this is like a 30-point spread or something. Want to know?
I can cut through the first half of this schedule with you.
Nevada, week 2. Stanford, week 3.
All at home.
Okay. You're not at all worried that Troy Taylor can slice it up against this USC defense?
Not just yet. And I guess if it's not yet, it's never, because they're not playing after next year.
Then they get a bye week, and then they're at Arizona State on Saturday, September 23rd. Any chance, the desert's always been a weird place for USC.
Losing Stanford USC as a rivalry low-key hurts.
No, it's terrible. All this is terrible for college football fans. In my opinion, like, the TV execs are destroying a once great sport.
Yeah. It's a kind of fun game there. It's produced some fun moments.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
But is there any way, because they're talking about Jaden Rashada might be starting for the Sun Devils?
There's no way. USC crushes Arizona.
Back-to-back away. Any chance Dion and primetime?
No, not yet.
So 5-0.
Here's a tricky one.
And then they're home to the Arizona Wildcats. 1-score game a year ago, but man, they took Arizona's best players for the most part. Any chance Jed Fish and the Wildcats come into the Coliseum, Patty C, and give Lincoln Riley and company a big time game here?
Well, I'll say this. It might not end up in an upset in the Coliseum, but the more weeks in a row that you're challenged, the more likely you are to take an L. And since this is the first of 3 pretty damn tough games.
You're taking Jed Fish?
No.
I know the human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
USC and fish can't coexist peacefully, though. Someone's got to go down.
So 6-0?
6-0.
And now I would circle right now as like when your season starts.
Yeah.
Right? Because they go to South Bend, Indiana to take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish on October 14th. Patty C, who are you taking here?
A dangerous-ass game, obviously, but I leaned USC in my Notre Dame preview, so I'm sticking with it.
7-0.
Yep.
Then they come back home to take on Kyle Whittingham and the Utah Utes. Kyle Whittingham going out on a limb saying he thinks he has the best line of scrimmage in all of college football.
Well, this game was played where? In Rice Eccles in Salt Lake City last year and in Allegiant in Las Vegas.
You got to worry about this being a look-ahead spot, the Notre Dame game, because they're going to be focused on beating Utah.
Yeah.
You got to worry about that Notre Dame game.
That's true. Although, how can, when you're 6-0 and going against what is probably like a 5-1 Notre Dame team, be looking ahead? Because you'll have all of Notre Dame's attention. You might have College Game Day there. It's hard to look ahead. But if they do, then Notre Dame can definitely get them. But they should have they need to look ahead a little bit to Utah because Utah beat them twice last year.
Yeah, and not even last year. I feel like over the years they've kind of owned them.
Yeah.
Buddy.
You think they take an L in that 2-game stretch?
No.
8-0.
I have the week after. Halloween weekend. They go to Berkeley for the final time.
Yeah.
And this was a 6-point game a season ago in LA.
Sweet.
Right? This is the loss.
That would be sweet.
This is the loss.
Yeah, I could see it.
I can see it too.
Quite frankly, between Arizona at Notre Dame, Utah, and at Cal, there probably is a loss in there. So I'll give them that loss with you.
Okay, then the very next week they host the Washington Huskies. And this is my second loss, Patty C, because I think Washington's going to go – they're the one team with the offensive firepower that I think can just go toe for toe. And if this defense – Washington's got a better defense than USC. Yeah. So, like, if you're not ready, watch out. If Penix is healthy, they're
kind of mirror images of each other in a way, although –
no, Washington defense is a lot better.
Washington is more of a pure passing offense, obviously. But, I mean, these are the top 2 of the top 3 passing offenses in the country last year.
Yeah.
So they are kind of mirror images. But what was Washington defensive? Let me get that pulled up. And then I'll let you know. But, Washington probably can't hang with them or probably can hang with them.
No, this is what
in a shootout.
This is the loss, man. This is when they lose 2 in a row and everyone thinks the floor, the bottom is falling out.
Washington, the number 60 defense. That is considered.
They're a lot better, dude. They always got guys. The very next week after Washington, they head to Autzen to take on Oregon.
Between those 2 games, there's a loss.
No, I think I got them beating Oregon at Oregon. They bounce back, and then they're home to UCLA.
UCLA in the slightest bit of rebuild.
You got to wonder the status of where Dante Moore would be at, but I favor USC, and I got him going exactly 10-2, right?
Yeah.
So the number is on 10, but we can't. We're not squares. We have to either take over or under. I lean under.
I lean over.
Okay. Sell me on it, because I just think if you had these games spread out, the fact, like, I have Cal as a bowl team, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to get Arizona was 5-7. If they get to a bowl, you may get
the whole back end of your season as going bowling.
You might get 7 straight bowl teams.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the back end of that schedule is brutal, and it's not just like good teams. It's very, very good teams.
Yeah, I mean, look, Notre Dame, preseason top 15. Utah, preseason top 15. Washington, preseason top 15. Oregon, preseason top 15. I think UCLA's at like 17. Right,
I'm seeing UCLA unranked right now.
Oh, really?
But I could be looking at the wrong thing. This is just on football schedules that I'm looking at. So,
okay.
But yeah, Notre Dame 13, Utah 14, Washington 10, Oregon 15. So, like you said,
I gotta lean under just off that. Just off that, man. Just the fact that like
2 of those 4 on the road. I don't know though. I mean, this team was really damn good. They were 1 point away, and I feel like even in the regular season game. Even in Rice-Eccles, I thought they were better than Utah the first time.
Yeah.
Now, Utah obviously had kicked their ass in the second time. Yeah. And really, let's be honest, even though Tulane played their damn hearts out, USC was leading that game.
Okay, but sell me on this. So Rice-Eccles, so their toughest road trip was at Utah and they lost, right? Do they have, like, what was their second hardest game? Oregon State? On the road, I'm saying.
Yeah, they probably could have lost that
one.
I'm
saying, like, this year's road schedule at Notre Dame, at Oregon. You know what I mean? Like, there's some really tough places to win there.
Yeah, I mean, it actually would be kind of surprising if they didn't. So, I mean, I can see where you're saying you got to kind of lean under.
Well, look, Notre Dame's win total was what, 9.5?
Yeah.
Right? Utah's win total is 9, right? I believe. Washington's win totals, I think, is 10 or 9.5.
Yeah, they're all very
Oregon.
high.
So it's like Vegas got to be clueless then, because you have like 10 teams here with 9 win totals.
Have to play.
Yeah. It's like, what's going on
They're
here?
planning on losing a few of those bets at least.
I think I got to lean under, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're going to go 10-2. If you can find this exact number to bet, I think you go bet it, because I think they're going to go 10-2.
Yeah,
I believe they're going to go 10-2.
Yeah,
I would be shocked if they went 12-0. I would be absolutely fucking shocked if they went 12-0.
There's nothing.
Let me ask you this: what's the floor?
They could have a clunker, man. But Caleb Williams would have to get hurt. Knock on wood.
No. But let me ask you about this. What happens if they are looking ahead to Utah and they lose to Notre Dame and then lose to Utah, right?
Could the season derail?
Well, then maybe they step up and beat Cal, but then they could lose to Washington and Oregon. They could. What's the floor? 7-5, 8-4?
I think 8-4 is probably the floor.
Okay. You're on the over. I'm on the under. Before we get out of here, I had a chance to sit down with Michael Barker. What's that?
Maybe we get to after we talk to Michael, we'll think about what their postseason options are.
Okay. Look, Michael Barker, College Football Campus Tour. He's fantastic. He's been to every single college football stadium. Here is an interview I did with him about his experiences to the Coliseum. So with no further ado, here we go. Joining me on the college football experience, USC Trojans 2023 season preview is none other than Michael Barker, a.k.a. College Football Campus Tour. You might be saying, what do you mean College Football Campus Tour? Yes, Michael runs a Twitter page at CFB Campus Tour that you should follow. First off, Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. But Michael does an unbelievable job of documenting every stadium in the country. You know why? Because he's been to all 133 FBS stadiums, and he's been to a lot of the FCS. He's been to D2, D3, and he documents his travels. Now, this isn't just a one-game thing. This is 5, 6, 7 games a week. It is a truly unbelievable follow, and if you're a college football fan, I believe you should certainly follow this account at CFB Campus Tour. Michael, I appreciate you hopping on the show to talk a little USC football in the Coliseum.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I mean, this is one of the heavy hitters right there, National Historic Landmark. If you look at the USC website, the Coliseum, it says it's the greatest stadium in the history of the world. So we got a good one to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, look, I know this just because, the Olympics, when I picture the Olympics in '84 in LA, the Coliseum, a memory comes even though I was barely even alive. But also, the Rams, right? The Rams and Raiders play there. They called it home at one point. Talk to me a little bit about the history of the stadium.
Yeah, so it's 100 years old this year, built in 1923. Capacity is at some points have been up close to 100,000. A couple of years ago, 2016, 2017, they did a 2-year project, ended in 2019, reduced the capacity to 77,500. They built a new press box and put it in the place of almost 15,000 seats. You mentioned the Olympics. It's hosted 2, and with the Olympics coming up in a couple of years, it'll be the only stadium in the world to host 3 Olympics. It's hosted BCS national championship games, I believe 4 in the 2000s, a couple of Super Bowls. It's the most diverse stadium. We talked about it a while back about UCLA playing there all the way until 1982. So this place has seen everything, done everything, and it's been refreshed many times. And you mentioned the Rams played there when they came back to LA. And the cool thing now is the West Coast, we don't have that many big teams out here. And when we talk about when USC is good, it's just a different vibe. And so having Lincoln Riley here, going to a game at the Coliseum, it's not, Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, Pete Carroll stuff, but there's a lot of excitement to go out and check a game at the Coliseum this year.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they're people are talking about them to the college football playoff. It's going to be super exciting. I've been to the stadium a few times. I think it's really great too. It's kind of like it's in downtown and USC campus, but it's also like kind of tucked away, I feel like, and then boom, it emerges. Tell me, how many times you've been here?
So I've been to one game. It was in 2018. It was a Friday night game versus Utah. And it interested me because JT Daniels was a freshman as a quarterback there. We know he went to 4 different programs throughout his tenure, but he skipped his senior year of high school to play that game. And I was fascinated because I'd never heard anything like that before. It was a close game. Utah ended up pulling it out at the end. But great to get a P5 weeknight game. I am going to week 0. They're playing San Jose State. I haven't been to the Coliseum since they remodeled. And, for me, I get to be particular. The sunset's going to be going down, going to get that golden hour photo and get to see the USC program right off the bat and kind of judge talent level and see how they progress from there. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, that game seems awesome. Maybe I'm located here in LA, so perhaps I'll get out there and join you. Well, either way, folks, if you are in Los Angeles or anywhere in California, Southern California, get out to a game at the Coliseum. You won't be disappointed. Michael, I appreciate you hopping on the show to talk about the Coliseum and the USC Trojans, man, and perhaps I'll catch you at a game this year, man.
$24 on StubHub is the opener, so you can't beat that price. So maybe we'll see you there.
There we go, brother. Folks, give him a follow on Twitter at CFB Campus Tour because he does unbelievable work. He does the shot of the game, do a lot of the photos of the statues involved with the stadiums. Just truly unbelievable work. Thanks again, Michael, and I look forward to seeing your travels, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me as always, Colby.
Anytime, man. Take care. Michael Barker going everywhere, man. He's killing it. It's
a great man.
It's a great follow. You got to get over there and follow it. The Coliseum's a great stadium. It's
Coliseum is gorgeous.
Way better than fucking SoFi.
Yeah.
SoFi is one of the worst stadiums in America, dude. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
Play college football at the Coliseum and the Rose Bowl.
Give USC, let's give them a lot of credit for that. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, granted it's on campus, but they have never even thought about tearing it down or building a dome anywhere on campus.
Yeah.
They said we're gonna, add some modern elements to this. The big press
You're
box.
in fucking California.
Yeah.
Come on. It's perfect.
Yeah.
That is perfect.
Have a beautiful setting for your football games.
I think they
Best Buy.
should rotate.
Yeah.
I think that. So look, I mean, I if I was in charge of like college football, I think they should rotate, get all these terrible stadiums out of here because they have these terrible corporate stadiums hosting the biggest games in college football. I think you rotate the Rose Bowl and the Coliseum as one. If you're gonna go, if I want on-campus playoff games, but if I can't get that, rotate one of those.
Yeah.
Right. And maybe one out of every 4 years, you go, or 1 out of every 5 years, maybe that 5th year, you go and you play at Cal Berkeley Stadium because that's awesome.
Yeah.
Right. And that's your West Coast package right there,
Yeah.
right?
You don't. SoFi should never enter the equation.
Sun Bowl in Texas or the Cotton Bowl rotates, right?
Yeah.
Then you have the Liberty Bowl rotating with
Tulane or
Tulane.
Yeah.
No, don't get that other nonsense out of here. Superdome.
Superdome out of here.
Then you do another one in the north. You go you could go Soldier, but I think Ohio Stadium's great.
Yep.
You could do Ohio Stadium, the big house, rotate that thing or something there. Arrowhead's great too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great places you could do it. They don't lean into it. Also, I would also say like play it at one SEC stadium, rotate.
Of course.
They don't.
I mean, get down into
It drives
Florida.
me crazy. They don't go into what makes them great.
Right.
It's like they don't realize what makes
Yeah,
college football
yeah.
great. It's idiots in charge. Yeah.
They want to protect bowl tradition, but they moved the bowls into domes that are NFL
How about
stadiums.
that? How about that? The Rose Bowl has been holding them hostage. The actual bowl game has been holding college football hostage. Now there's no Pac-12. Oh yeah. You gotta kick off at a certain time so you get the
we gotta have the Big Ten, Pac-10
fucking
Rose Bowl,
idiots.
which doesn't fucking exist.
It's just so stupid. We want to preserve the bowl tradition while the whole house is on fire in college football. You know what I mean? This is just ridiculous.
Now the Rose Bowl is the Big Ten championship game. That's where you need.
They're talking about playing it at Allegiant. That stadium
now they
sucks,
want
too.
it in Vegas.
That is a terrible fucking stadium. Should play it at Sam Boyd.
Bunch of fucking idiots.
Buddy.
This team.
Yeah.
Postseason. Do you have them in the conference championship game?
I had him making the Pac-12 championship. I had him losing though.
Okay,
but
losing to Oregon State, or who'd you have? Losing to Utah.
I mean, either whoever they play.
Yeah, you think they're
I don't know. Like, here's the thing: Utah's one of these teams, and Cam Rising's injured. He tore his ACL in the Rose Bowl, so I do expect Utah to struggle early in the season.
Yeah,
but late in the season, I don't think anybody's going to want to play Utah.
Divisions are
no divisions. Yeah,
so
you also might have this. I don't know the tiebreaker.
Beating Utah in Los Angeles.
I actually think I don't have USC because I have them losing to Washington, and I think that tiebreaker.
Okay, I think
would then put Washington in there.
Gotcha. I think maybe Nick and I had USC in there, but
well, it matters though. If they lose to Notre Dame, then that doesn't hurt them.
Yeah, that's true.
It matters who the losses are.
Right.
It's going to be fascinating. I think this is the most interesting the Pac-12 has been in forever. And it's a damn shame because, honestly, if you told me what would you rather watch, this year's Pac-12 or next year's USC and UCLA and Oregon and Washington in the Big Ten, it's by far this year's Pac-12. So, I don't know. It's going to be – Patty C's on the over. I'm on the under.
I think they win the Pac-12. I mean, look, I think on the flip side, you got Texas and Oklahoma and a lot of the other schools in the Pac-12, obviously, there can only be one winner, going out non-champions. But I do think USC ends up being the Pac-12 champion on the last year. I could easily see them, not doing it. So it's kind of a flip of a coin with all those top teams. And then I see them in the playoff.
Really?
I do, but I see them
I
losing.
think Pac-12 unfortunately is going to beat themselves up, and they don't get enough
well, that
respect,
always
so,
does
yeah.
happen. So that would not be a surprise.
Folks, make sure you subscribe to the College Football Experience. We are first give us a follow on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Patty C's on Twitter at PattyC831. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. And yeah, wherever podcasts can be found, the College Football Experience. We break down all of 133 college football teams. Solo podcast for each and every team in the land. We do this shit every year, folks. We also have conference previews out. You want to go listen to the Pac-12 preview or the Big Ten, regardless of what you like. All of our conference previews are out, so go check them out. Also, I host the FCS College Football Experience. Maybe you want to know about the Cal Poly Mustangs. All right, I got you covered. Also, the College Basketball Experience. When the season tips, I'll be here every single night of the season like we are each and every year. And also check out the College Baseball Experience because, look, Southern California knows baseball. Let's go. And the Big 12 Experience is out now. We got a Big 12. It's the Big 12. All right, go check it out. The Big 12 Experience. All those podcasts come together on YouTube, youtube.com/The College Experience. Also, check out the Sports Gambling Podcast as they break down all 32 NFL teams with a solo podcast for each and every team in the land. Get the SGPN app. It's free in the App Store and Google Play Store. And come in the Discord and talk college ball with us, all right? Doesn't matter. Actually, any sport, really. Could be the monster truck madness going on in Mexico City. We got you covered, folks. This is the College Football Experience, USC Trojan style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Run and shoot. We can win